Welcome to PSF654, Christian Faith, a Global Survey. I'm Rebecca Letterman, and I will be your course facilitator this semester. And I'm really looking forward to the time we'll have together and the materials we'll explore together and getting to know you better. And I hope that you enjoy this class. The purpose of the class is to introduce you to the myriad ways in which persons across the globe and throughout Christian history have sought to be faithful disciples of Jesus Christ. I hope that part of what you'll discover is the great extent to which our cultures and our times shape what that looks like. And so I think you'll get a taste of that in this class. But I also hope that you'll get a sense of the largeness, the wideness, the depth of the body of Christ, the variety and diversity in the body of Christ, and what a privilege it is to be a part of that body. I hope that you'll learn about some Christian practices and traditions that are very different from perhaps your own, but learn about them in a way that helps you really deepen your just innate respect for the variety of God's household and the many ways that grace encounters us as human persons because of the work of Jesus Christ. So you're in for a treat as we do a kind of a survey of the course overall. There are right now four required texts that you'll need to somehow purchase, acquire. And then there are many texts that are posted on the website in addition to these. And when I say texts, I mean not only books, but articles and videos and audio recordings and art pieces, et cetera, et cetera. But the four books that we'll use, the main books we'll use, we'll begin with Prosper Gretsch's book, An Outline of New Testament Spirituality. And this is to ground our understanding, start right from the biblical times, even in the Old Testament, and how that impacts New Testament spirituality, and look at the different types of, when we say spirituality, and Gretsch will define for you the responsiveness of human beings to the life of the Spirit. And we'll see what that looks like in the scriptures first through Gretsch's work. I will say he will in the very first chapter. Let me see this first chapter. He's going to talk about, yes, Genesis there, and he's going to talk about it from not so much a historical standpoint, but what he call a mythical standpoint. But what he means by myth there doesn't mean that it's not true, but it means myth in the sense of a large story that holds a lot for us. So don't get hung up on that. Keep reading. It's good stuff. And I think you'll find in here some really insightful material about, of course, Jesus, the disciples, especially in helpful chapters on the Apostle Paul and John, and some really interesting thinking on the book of Revelation. For some of you, I've had some students describe it was, if you're really interested in biblical theology in particular, I've had some students describe this as getting to walk through a candy store. It's pretty dense reading. But anyway, that's where we're going to start, is with that. Then we're going to use two main texts to kind of walk us through the themes of Christian spirituality throughout the ages and across the globe. We will use, first of all, we'll use Richard Foster's book, Streams of Living Water, Celebrating the Great Traditions of Christian Faith. And Foster's book sets up 6 different themes that he say are kind of streams in the Christian tradition. And he looks at each of those representative figures in them, biblical rooting for them, the strengths of each, some challenges or weaknesses in each. This is just a good book overall to kind of locate some of what Foster would identify as major streams of Christian tradition and spirituality. So that's that text. And in the back of the text, there are some wonderful appendices that are a great resource for you for this class and ongoing. And then also we're going to use Sitzer's book, Water from a Deep Well. In this book, Christian Spirituality from Early Martyrs to Modern Missionaries, this approaches different ways, Christian spirituality in different places and times, primarily chronologically. So he'll start again with the scriptures and then move through early church all the way up through contemporary times thematically. So these two books, they're both thematic type books, this one more chronological, this one in terms of general streams, ancient, medieval, modern streams across traditions. And the course website itself is set up primarily kind of chronologically as a way to give us a framework in which to hold a lot of different material that we'll engage across just different ways of responding and trying to be faithful to live as God's people in the world. Um, and then I also have added this year a book by Susan Muto, my colleague and friend, called Gratefulness, The Habit of a Grace-Filled Life. And while the focus of the book is to nurture in us gratitude, which is just a very healthy spiritual disposition to focus on. And in addition, she is an acknowledged expert in the literature of Christian spirituality. In fact, she's written several books. They're just outstanding. She really knows the literature of Christian spirituality. And in this book, at the end of each chapter, she'll have a brief quote from someone well known in the literature of Christian spirituality, a quote from them, and then she'll write just a little bit about that and then lead us in a prayer. And so this is a book that, by focusing on the topic of gratitude, is also going to introduce you to several dozen masters of Christian spirituality literature. So I hope that you enjoy that, and we'll talk together when we get going in class. Perhaps we can even arrange to have Susan. She's a friend of mine, so maybe we can even have some kind of a video conference call with her or something, just so you can meet her. I think you'd enjoy that. So those are the 4 textbooks. You'll notice in the course syllabus that there are basically 4 main assignments you'll hand in. There's something called a site visit, which is a way for you to have the experience of Christian worship or some kind of faithful Christian living in a setting that's different from your own one that's normative for you now. So for example, if you're a Roman Catholic Christian, perhaps you'd visit a charismatic church service. Or if you are in a church that is predominantly of one ethnicity, maybe visit a church of a different ethnicity, but something you will choose some kind of a different worship service to attend, whether it's ideally in person, but if you can't do it in person, there's a lot of live stream services in that too. So that will be a site visit, a way just to expose you to the experience of different Christian worship in our contemporary settings. Secondly, you'll have a research paper. So this course is a survey course. The research paper gives you a chance to kind of dig into some topic that you find really interesting. And so as we go on, I'll guide you in that. You'll write a proposal for that, so I can help resource you if I can and participate with you in getting that going. And it'll just give you a chance to dig into something that I hope that you enjoy researching. I will ask you, you should plan on attending the All Seminary Retreat this year. It'll be the first Saturday in November. And so look into that, pencil that in your calendar now. And after that, you'll write a brief reflection paper on that. And then I'll also ask you throughout the semester, especially based on Susan's work, although also other materials that you'll be exposed to throughout the semester, I'll ask you to put together an annotated bibliography, a list of some books and authors that you are interested in the future when you have a little bit more time than you probably do while you're in seminary. Some authors and texts that you're really interested in exploring some more, and why. So I'll ask you to be, as you're going throughout the semester and you come across a reading, a person, a text, something that's really interesting to you, start making your list now. I'll put together a bibliography and just a 1 or 2 sentence explanation of why you're interested in exploring that text. And then also contributing to your grade for the semester will be your participation in the class, your interaction with the materials, with each other as you explore these materials. So I hope that that gives you a sense of what the class is. And I hope that you will find that the materials in this class just open you up again to understand the breadth of ways, the myriad ways that Christian persons of good heart seek to be faithful to God, and how that can look really different across time, across cultures, across geographies. And also that as you do that, you will find your own a context for your own Christian faithfulness to be enriched by what you learned in the class. So welcome, and I look forward to the semester with you. God bless you.